do not void the law. Through grace, we do not void the law. If anything, we establish the law. Nehemiah had to patch out the jaw. Through faith, we do not void the law. Through grace, we do not void the law. If anything, we establish the law. Nehemiah had to patch out the jaw. Through faith, we do not void the law. Through grace, we do not void the law. If anything, we establish the law. Nehemiah had to patch out the jaw. Think you could just do whatever you want? Huh?
First and foremost, once again, giving all praise to the Holy One of Israel, Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Yahkai, Baruch Shem Kavod, Mekute Le'elam Wa'ed, V'yahavta Et Yehoah Eloheka, V'kol Levavka, V'kol Nafshika, V'kol Miodeka, V'hayu Hadivarim Ha'alei Asher Noki, V'za'oka Hayon Al Levaveka, V'shinantan Levaneka, V'dibarataban, V'shivtika, V'vetika, Uvletika, V'aderek, Ushapika, Ukameka, Uchatan Leo Ayudeka, V'hayu Letotafot Beneneka, Ukatavtan, Al Mazuzo Beteka, Uvish Areka. And what that was our prayer from Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, verses 4 through 8, giving declaration to the uniqueness and the oneness of the Creator and Him being powerful and mighty, and also giving declaration to His laws that He's also put here in the midst of us so that we can live by them and we can be righteous individuals. Okay, getting started, of course, all praise to Yah, and I want to say shalom to my brother Shar, spiritual leader of the redemption, you know what I mean? Hallelujah, thank the Creator for his life and for the presence of all the family there. You know, this is a beautiful time. Also, shalom to who we have here. All right, I see it now. Shalom to my brother Aki Eitan. Shalom to my brother Iz. I see my brother Steve in the back. I see you, bro. All right, shalom to the queens and all the children and all the rest of our princes. Shalom to you, V.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom to Sister Tamika.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom to our young brother James.
Shabbat shalom.
And shalom to all our queens in the background. You know, this world, or even us in our existence, we wouldn't be here without y'all. You know, so we definitely thank the Creator for your life. And y'all know the rule, right? The Hebraic thought for women, right? You know, we don't look at y'all's ribs, right? Right? Got not ribs. So what are y'all got not ribs?
Help me.
Or what's the other definition for zealot? The Hebrew word zealot.
I don't know the Hebrew word zealot.
I don't know. I don't think they got that one.
The Hebrew word zealot is, I'll give it to you now, and it's T-S-E-L-A, zealot. T-S-E-L-A, and what that means is this. It means side. So remember we talked about the Hebraic thought that a woman isn't a rib because a rib you can live without. It's insignificant. It's meaningless. Remember, whenever I talk about a rib, I can't help but think about Chris Rock. You know, can I get a rib? You know, I can't help but think about I'm gonna get you sucker. All right, that's the old school of me. I'm sorry, but the rib you can live without. You know, it's insignificant. So the real definition of the word isn't rib, but it's the word side. Because now I can't live without my side, right? What I look like walking around half of me, right? And that's why the Creator says also that when a man leaves his mother and his father, right? He shall cleave into his Isha, and they shall become what? One flesh, right? Echad, that's right. They should become one. So a side really in math is what? What's a half in math? What's the math? What's the decimal for a half in math?
0.5.
0.5, that's right. 0.5 is the math for half of one, right? So we know that 1 + 1 = 2, and that's why a lot of relationships have problems because instead of people going in 0.5 and getting a 0.5, they are trying to bring a whole 1. And so when you're trying to bring your whole self or a whole 1 into a partnership, then it becomes unbalanced, and it's not the design of the creator. But when you bring your 0.5 to another 0.5, now what does that equal? That equals 1. See? Because we can't be 1 with 1 plus 1. That's 2 all day. You know, the creator ain't say a man shall leave his mother and father, cleave to his wife, and they should become 2 fleshes. You know? No, it said that they should become what? A chag. A chag is the Hebrew word for 1, right? Okay. And so even when you go down the street, right? And I would hope that, you know, if somebody see a man without his isha, right? That they would be like, hey, where's your other what? Your other what? Your other half, right? And in some cases, they'll say, where's the better? Where's the better half, right? So who's the better half, y'all? The sisters or the brothers?
Sisters.
All right.
I start arguing. It's Sabbath.
All right, so here we have it, y'all. The reality behind it is, again, y'all are more to us than a red, okay? Now, the Hebrew word is the what again? What's the Hebrew word, somebody?
Zealot.
Zealot, woo! All right, thank you. Y'all paying attention. I'm ready to tell you. I'm about to, all right, good. All right, good. I'll tell you, I don't know what I had to do to wake up, okay? I had to get myself up. I do dialysis on Shabbat, on Saturdays, and it's the only day I can do it right now besides Tuesdays and Thursdays until they're able to switch it for me. So I have to do that in order to keep my blood clean and to stay alive. And so when I do that early Shabbat morning, it kind of zaps my energy. And so, you know, it kind of makes it kind of hard to continue your day sometimes. So it takes the creator to really give me his spirit, you know, and give me some motivation to continue forth. And if I could do that, then what can another person do that is in better health? You know what I mean? And in better spirit, you see? And so this is the sacrifices that we make, not because we're taught this, but because we love Yah. And his spirit, like Jeremiah the prophet says, like what? Fire shut up in our bones, right? And so when fire get up under you, you move a little bit, all right? So getting back now into our lesson for the day, talking about Passover. We've studied it extensively in terms of the things you can and cannot have. We're going to get right to that verse right now. Exodus, the 12th chapter, verse 15. We're going to jump right into this. And while you're doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find my list of things we can and cannot have, so that way we can talk about those things too. And I think I can do a little screen sharing, so that's kind of good too. All right, let's see here. So I'm going to try to pull my list up as well. So while somebody's pulling that scripture out, I'm going to need also one of my brothers to pull up the Hebrew. Okay? If it's not one of my brothers, one of my sisters pulling up the Hebrew. Y'all all got Hebrew class, right? How long y'all been in Hebrew class now?
Since September.
All right, and shout out to our brother Netanyahu, who's been doing a great job. So, you know, y'all skilled and y'all ready now. That's been quite a few months, right? So let's see if we can get some of the people who really didn't, who really starting to learn Hebrew a little bit. We want to try to get you involved. So if you want to volunteer to try to read the Hebrew, this is your opportunity. Okay, so just let me know by either raising your hand or speaking up, and letting us get my attention, so that way I can give you that opportunity to read the Hebrew. It's a beautiful thing to read our language. And for those of you interested in Hebrew class, make sure you get with myself or with Shar, Takaya, or with Aki, Aton, or any of the brothers or sisters attending class, and they can give you the information as to when the class is. And I believe the class is free, right?
Okay.
All right. Well, it ain't too free because believe me, not to Yahoo's he's gonna be some favors from me later on. Believe me. but yeah, it's free, and it's coming from our brother's heart. And there's nothing like learning from somebody that teaches for free, and they get their reward from the Creator. All right. It's nothing like that. So make sure you get the information from that class. And Natan Yahoo is an excellent teacher as well. All right. So if you just start to learn to read Hebrew, this is a good opportunity for you. We're not going to hold it against you. We're going to help you with the words if you stumble or can't get it all the way through. We got plenty of brothers here that can read it, that can help you with the words. So can we get a volunteer to, excuse me, can we get a volunteer to read Exodus, the 12th chapter, verse 15 in English, and then we're going to get a volunteer to read it in Hebrew. Okay, anybody, first of all, anyone that's just starting to learn and read that would like to give that a chance? Or you just, anybody got some heart?
Talking about in Hebrew?
Come on, there. I just got done watching the movie Black Panthers. Where the heart at? Come on now. Come on.
You talking about in English or Hebrew?
Hebrew.
I tried.
All right, we got Shah. Who that, Shah?
Yeah.
All right, Shah, now, man, you one of the experts, bro. We try to get somebody that's fresh out the box.
Oh, okay.
Anybody fresh out the box, just starting to learn to read? If not, then we got Shah on deck. Nobody want to try? Oh, look at you. I'll tell you, man. Don't worry. We're going to take a lot of y'all to see the wizard very soon. We're going to get some heart from the wizard very soon. All right, let's see. All right, so Shar, you got it in Hebrew, okay, after whoever our English volunteer is. So who's going to read our English for us? I like either one of our sisters or the children. Anybody like to volunteer?
I'll read it.
All right, there you go. There we go. Our sister Tamika's gonna read our English for us. And I hope I ain't overlook anybody that said something, because I heard some mumbling before she spoke up. So I hope I ain't overlook anybody. I don't want to do that. Believe me, you overlook people, you're gonna get beat up. Believe me, and I don't want to get beat up. Nah, I didn't overlook anybody. All right, good. All right, so Sister Tamika, you're gonna read us in English. And Shar Takaya is going to read our Hebrew for us, all right? And everyone else is going to kind of really just ask the Creator as they read to open up our minds so that we can understand, so that He can give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because all those things come from the Most High.
Ready?
Yes.
7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel.
Very good, very good. And so, Sister Tamika, with that, look at that verse real quick for me, right? And James, you can help out your imam. All right, you can help the mom out. All right. In that verse, how many times do you see the word leaven?
Word 11. Answer. 3.
3 times. Very good. Very, very good. So it's 3 times. And so, Eitan, Shartakaya, I need you now to read our Hebrew for us, please.
The whole thing in Hebrew? Or just the key words? That's a lot too. If you want to do it all the way, we can do it all the way. I ain't scared, but if you want to do the key word.
Hey, Sean, you said, hey, Sean, man, Sean, like, the whole thing?
I just clicked on it and looked at it, because
You thought you was gonna have to read only 4 words, huh?
Yeah, for about 4 seconds.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna read the whole thing, Shar, real quick. Matter of fact, yeah, we're gonna read the whole thing, but we are gonna focus on those key words, which are 11. But we wanna read the whole thing, and I got you busy.
Okay, because you know the top is wrote different from the bottom.
I got you. I got you back.
Are we doing the top or the bottom?
You're gonna start with the word Shiva.
Yeah, Sheba. It's Sheba. See, it's Sheba on the top, but it's Sheba at the bottom. That's why I said, which one we gonna read?
Top.
Okay, Sheba.
So Shiva is the Hebrew word for 7.
Okay, Yamin.
Yamim is the Hebrew word for days. So Shiva Yamim means 7 days.
Matzot.
Yep.
Tobain.
Tokalu. So Tokalu. So we got matzot Tokalu. That means you shall eat matzah. All right. So matzot Tokalu means you shall eat matzah, and we know what matzah is, right? All right. So time sheet, Shar.
Ak.
Yep. Ak meaning even or only.
Bayom.
Gang.
Arishon.
That's right. Bayom Harishon. Bayom Harishon means in the first day.
Okay.
Right? That's how we say Sunday in Hebrew, y'all. Yom Rishon. Yom Rishon means first day. First day. And the word is, you can try it. Let's go. Got your back.
Tesh, right. Tesh beat. That's E though. Tesh beat.
Yeah.
Tebishto.
That's right, brother. Put the word together now. Put the whole word together now. Let it flow.
Teshbito.
That's it, man. That's it. Tishbi2. You ain't scared of that word. It's in your tongue. It's your language. You know what I'm saying? Our mind was holding us back because of this society. But when you let go of that, you flew. All right, so Tishbi2 meaning you shall remove away. Okay?
Seor.
Seor. Now, Seor is the second word that was mentioned for leaven. The first word was the word matzah. They use matzah for unleavened. Now they use Seor for the other word that means leaven. So we got Tishbi2, Seor, meaning we shall remove Seor. Now what's the next word?
Take him.
Flow it, baby, flow it.
Me take him. Me take him.
That's it, man. That's it. Me take him, baby. Me take him. You see what I'm saying? So me take him means from your houses. The root word in there is the word bait or bait. It's the word house. Okay? So we shall remove it from our houses. Okay? We're not going to read the whole thing. We're going to stop at the word kamates. All right? So we got about 4 more words because we don't want to bore anybody that doesn't speak it. Okay? We don't want to lose you. All right? So we got about 3 more words, and then we're going to stop that verse, even though there's more words. Okay? All right, time sheet, y'all.
Key.
Key. Key, meaning 4.
Call.
Kal meaning all.
Okay. Okay.
All you eat. Meaning that we shall remove the seyor from all that we eat. Okay, or we shall remove the seyor from our houses, and all that we eat, or we shall not eat. Okay, and all that we eat. What's the next word? Kametz. Okay, and kametz is definitely a key word there because kametz is the actual third word that they translate as leaven. Is the word kametz. Kametz is the food or beverage that has seyor in it. Seyor is the actual product of either fermentation. Okay, so these are some important words that we mentioned, and we covered really the basis of the three words that are mentioned as leaven. In Hebrew, those are different words. It's talking about three totally different things. But when people read the English, they just interpret it as just leaven. So what do people try to get rid of out of their houses for Passover? Nothing but leaven. Okay, and sometimes they don't even know what leaven is. But when we go into the Hebrew, we understand that the breakdown of the word, there are three different words. One is matzah, meaning what? Any food or beverage that has no seyor in it, meaning no ferment, no yeast, nothing that causes something to chemically rise. Okay? And if it has nothing in it that causes it to rise, it's called matzah. It's called matzah. A lot of people call the bread matzah. Matzah is really not just bread. The Hebrew word for bread is the Hebrew word lakem. Lakem. Okay? Even the word mazon is another word for bread or food. And then you have different types of bread. Like you have uga. In Hebrew, uga is cake. You'll find this in Leviticus, the 2nd chapter. Leviticus, the 2nd chapter, probably around verse 16. You'll read about, or around verse 3. You'll see words like the word uga, meaning cake. You got words that means, like basak, which is the word for flour. You got different words that are describing different types of breads. There are even words for fluff cakes. Even holy bread. So there are different types of you even have words for wafer. It's Hebrew word for wafer. So you have different types of breads, and they all have different types of different Hebrew names. Okay. So when we talk about what we should remove out of our homes, I hope it's really kind of clear. This feast is really not called the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's wrong. This is called the Feast of Unfermentation because we're dealing with foods and beverages that do not have ferments in them, which are things like yeast, baking soda, vinegar, so forth and so on. Okay, so now I want to ask you all a question. And then after I ask this question, we're going to go through the list of things we can and cannot eat. But before we go through that list, I want to make sure y'all all understand the concepts of the difference in the Hebrew words, so you understand the basics of what you can and cannot have. Okay? It's really not difficult. It's real simple. Passover and the Feast of Unfermentation is about taking us back to a healthy, holistic way of living, where we are removing all the preservatives, all the junk out of our bodies that are killing us, that are shortening our lives. So the Most High during this time is taking us back to a holistic way of living. Why? Because this season represents what word, y'all? What word does this season represent? It starts with an F.
Season?
What word starts with an F that this season represents? This feast represents. Passover represents this one word that starts with an F. What happened to us coming out of Egypt? We got our what? Our freedom. Right, that's right, 8 times. We got our freedom. And whoever else said it, we got our freedom. And so this season represents our freedom. So when we are changing our diets during this time, guess who's experiencing some freedom? Your body. Your body and your mind is experiencing a little bit of freedom during this time because you're going back to sort of a holistic way of eating and living, okay? And so the first thing that the creator says that we shall eat for 7 days is the word matzah. So I'm going to make this very, 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 very clear, all right? Do not go to the store and buy matzah. We are boycotting box matzah this year.
Hey.
We're making our own. All right. So anybody that needs a recipe for matzah, let me know. I'll make my own. My family makes their own. And I'm sure some other people in here make their own. We can share our recipes. That's what we're going to do with our group threads. Share matzah recipes. Share Passover recipes. Because we need to come up with exciting ways of making Passover food taste good. Because we can't use those preservatives and that junk that we generally eat. Okay? All right, so now with that said, matzah means any food or beverage that has no ferment in it. What is a ferment? A ferment is something that causes something to rise chemically. Okay, where it releases sugar molecules, release alcohol, carbon dioxide, and not release alcohol, produces alcohol. That is actually what fermentation does, even to our bodies. When our bodies are experiencing ferment, it's producing alcohol. And alcohol is a poison. And so we're poisoning ourselves. And so when we eat yogurt, which is one of the worst things to ever eat, full of ferment. I mean, yogurt is worse than sometimes pork. I'm telling you, leave that stuff alone because of it's filled with pus, it's filled with enzymes, it's filled with bacteria, it's filled with fungus. Don't ever eat that crap, okay? I don't know too much about vegan yogurt. I'm assuming I'm assuming, I know that that's fermented because they have to use some type of culture to cause the ferment reaction to take place. I'm just assuming that they use maybe a vegetarian-based culture. Okay, but stay away from yogurts during Passover. Yogurts are all fermented, okay? Cheeses, you can't use cheeses during Passover. Cheeses are fermented.
Man.
Okay, even your vegetarian cheese is fermented. Yeah. The vegetarian cheese, stay away from citric acid. Anything that has added citric acid. Citric acid is mostly derived from a ferment process. No alcohol.
What?
Wait a minute, hold on. What did he say?
See if you listening or what?
Not even kosher for Passover alcohol. That's a bunch of bullcrap. All right.
That's not alcohol.
No, because it's perfect. It's perfect. Oh, this is only for women.
All right, and look. Now is when we hit y'all with scripture, right? Because people be like, oh, he talking crap. Shut up, right? So now let's go to Numbers, the 6th chapter, verse 3. And y'all, oh my goodness, we recording, right? And I'm about to eat while we recording. Please forgive me. I'm only human. I get hungry. You probably never see a teacher eating on a recording, will you?
You can eat out. We don't have no problem with that.
I appreciate that. I'm eating some vegetarian chicken too.
So what? Vegetarian chicken.
It's vegetarian protein nuggets chopped up with some vegetarian mayonnaise, vegetarian mustard, some onions, green peppers, and some turmeric, some other little spice stuff. It's real healthy. And then I'm eating it with some natural whole wheat, or is that spelt? I think it's spelt cracker with some chicken, vegetarian chicken salad. Pretty good. Please excuse me. So no alcohol. Now they got kosher for Passover alcohol, right?
Kosher wine? Yep.
They got kosher wine, but it's a bunch of crap. Let me tell you why. There's no such thing as alcohol that doesn't go through a fermentation process. The whole point of creating that alcohol is to make people feel good. So this is what alcohol does. When they create wine or when they create strong liquor, what they do is they add ferments, okay? And when they add those ferments, what they do is they want to increase the alcohol percentage. So whenever they want to increase the alcohol percentage of something, then what they do is they increase the fermentation process by adding maybe yeast, whatever it is that they add to increase the fermentation process so that it releases more carbohydrates and breaks down more sugar. And that's actually what they add to it, a lot of sugar sometimes. A lot of sugar during the fermentation process to increase the alcohol percentage. So if you look at the bottle of any alcohol beverage, you will see that it has, like alcohol percentages on it. And it probably say what, like 5 proof, 10 proof. I don't know what some of y'all drinking today. Some of y'all probably drinking 100 proof, I ain't sure. So, so they have different proofs, and the proofs are based upon the amount or the volume of alcohol that has been released or presented in the whole fermentation process. Now, there are 2 different types of fermentation processes. You have a natural one and you have an unnatural one, okay? A natural one is still what we want to avoid from during Passover or during the feast, because even the natural process, the Creator ain't say, okay, any natural fermentation can stay around. So even if it's a natural fermentation, you have to get rid of those things. So this feast isn't about having something rot and sticking around when it's a new year. This new year represents what? Newness, right? Now, why is this our new year? Let's talk about that real quick, and then I'm gonna go back to the alcohol and things we cannot have. Or let me just finish this point out of things we cannot have, because it's a long list and we gotta get through this. And if we can't have some time, then I'll talk about the new year. So the releasing of alcohol is a fermentation process, and we want to stay away from things that have added alcohol, that are ferments, that have yeast. Any of you use Times and Main's toothpaste?
I used to.
Okay, well, Times and Main's toothpaste is a vegetarian toothpaste or like a natural holistic toothpaste, but you can't even use that during Passover because it has something called xanthan gum in it. Let me spell this for you. X-A-N. And can you do me a favor? If you're not talking, if you can mute your line, I appreciate it because we got some background feed. All right, so xanthan gum is X-A-N. T-H-A-M. And then the next word is G-U-M, like gum that you eat. So xanthan gum is a natural preservative that they use in xanthan and natural toothpaste, as well as other vegetarian products as a preservative. But that comes from, it's an actual ferment. When you look it up, it tells you it's derived from a ferment process, or it itself is a ferment.
Yeah. I owe you everything, yo. Hold on, what I buy? Yeah. Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Akkad. I love you with my mind, body, and soul, cause that's my job. Yes. If I ain't praising your name, I'm diving in your word. Michael Phelps with the scriptures got me high as a bird. Chewing on the bread of life, set apart, unleavened, trying to get first dip.